the 4th day of May 2021, and our first subject for today is social studies, and the topic is coastal settlement. Coastal settlement. In our previous social studies lesson, we were looking at sorting the beach materials, or separating the beach materials. And I explained to you that when you visit a beach, you will discover that the bigger rocks, pebbles, stones are found further away from the water, on the shore, whereas the smaller pieces of rocks, mud or sand are found closer to the water, And I explained to you that waves, you know tides, you know currents, these are things we have studied. The reasons why ocean and seawater are always moving is, we explain this using waves, tides and currents. And we are now using waves. I want to tell you what happens to that separates the bigger materials that makes a beach from the smaller ones. Waves usually come with a lot of energy. As the waves are coming, they push pebbles and huge rock particles right up to the shore. And when this happens, the water will drain back later. And when the water is draining back, it doesn't drain back with the same force with which it came to deposit the huge particles of rocks and pebbles. It will drain with a lesser force, and this force cannot carry back those huge particles of rocks and pebbles to the shore, to the water. So it leaves them further away from the shore and can only carry the smaller and finer pieces of rocks, which are sand and mud. That is why at the beach you will find sand and mud closer to the water and the bigger particles closer to the shore, the bigger rocks and pebbles closer to the shore. Today we are looking at coastal settlements. What is a coastal settlement? A coastal settlement, you know, settlements are places where people live in, houses, industries, and things like that. So why do these places grow? Why do settlements grow on the coast? If you visit the coast, you will see large ports, industrial towns, cities. What happened? These places have been developed by people. And in the course of developing these large ports, industrial towns and cities, they have done what? Cut down trees, level the land, remove natural things that were in that environment, and they have planted buildings and these ports and these industrial towns. By so doing, they have changed the environment of part of the coast that has been developed in that way. Our subheading is reasons why settlements develop on the coast. Reasons why settlements develop at the coast. We know that at the coast, some coasts have shelter. I explained to you that we have coasts that have shelter, trees covering the coast, and we also have open air coasts. Those coasts that are sheltered usually have deep water harbors. These deep water harbors are good places where ships and boats can be launched, are good places where ships and boats can anchor, and good places where ships and boats can anchor. So, because of this, places that have deep natural water harbor have developed into industrial towns and cities on the coast. Examples of such places are Portsmouth in southern England. Portsmouth in southern England has developed because of its natural deep water harbors. Another one is what? Sydney in Australia. Sydney in Australia has developed into a large coastal city because of its natural deep water harbor. And another one is Vancouver in Canada. All these places I have mentioned, Portsmouth in southern England,
because of their natural deep water harbor. Because of their natural deep water harbor. Okay, we are going to look at the second reason why settlements develop on the coast. The second reason why settlements develop on the coast. We see that villages, coastal villages, usually start where a river, at the mouth of a river. Mouth. What is the mouth of a river? The place where a river enters another river or enters the sea. So villages usually start developing around the mouth of a river, where the river can easily be crossed using a bridge or ford. River can be crossed using a bridge or ford. So villages, coastal villages start developing from there. And then in places where land route joins with sea or ocean route, land route joins with sea or ocean route, large ports and cities have developed in such places where there is that join between land route and ocean route. Example of such places is where we have New York City. It's an example of such a city that has grown because of the joining of land route and sea route. Another one is London, has developed because there is the join between the land and the sea route. And the other one is Bristol. These three cities I have mentioned, London, Bristol, and New York, have grown to large ports, coastal ports and cities because of their location on a place where land and sea route join. Land and sea route join. We are going to look at the third reason why settlements grow or develop at the coast. The third reason why settlements grow or develop at the coast. And this third reason is that some cities and coastal towns have developed because these cities and coastal towns were found near places that have natural resources. Natural resources like what? Gold, like what? Diamond, like what? Coal, like what? Salt, like the city of San Francisco in the United States of America. The city of San Francisco in the United States of America, you can see here in our pictures, the city of San Francisco has developed into a large seaport because of the availability, because gold was found there. Because gold was found there. And then we look at the city of Tromsø in Norway. The city of Tromsø in Norway has developed here because whales, fishing, because of fishing, whales were captured here and many people started settling here. So San Francisco developed because of the availability of natural material as natural resources as gold, and Tromsø in Norway developed because of the fishing of whales in this area. So I was saying that some cities will develop because of natural resources or because of industries that were found nearby. Another example is Aberdeen in Scotland. Aberdeen in Scotland. Aberdeen developed into a major seaport and industrial city because of sows. Sows are a group of fish, huge group of fish that swim together. Sows are a huge group of fish that swim together. And where was this sow found? In the North Sea. In the North Sea. Today, that means present day, Aberdeen, most of the work that is done in Aberdeen today is linked up with the North Sea oil industry. The North Sea oil industry. And finally, we are going to look at Cardiff. Cardiff in Wales. Wales is in England. Cardiff grew up in a major industrial town and a major port because of what? Because coal was found nearby Cardiff in Wales. And this huge supply of coal made many people to come and settle in Cardiff. to do what? Coal is a source of energy used to run machines. So industries came to use this coal to run their machines and produce what could be marketed to people. And this made Cardiff to become a major seaport and a major industrial port. Thank you very much. I hope you have followed the explanations, and you've seen reasons why settlements develop on the coast. If you have any questions, as usual, you can always ask your question on my private WhatsApp. Endeavor to copy your notes. Please do the exercise that the activities are followed after this particular topic. Thank you very much for giving me your attention. Thank you. I hope to answer your questions. You know, you can't study without passing across difficulties, so I expect to answer questions from you. Have a wonderful time. Stay